All right, so we're back and ready to dive into a topic that I know a lot of you have been asking about,
Hmm.
online dating safety. We've got a ton of research here,
Yes.
articles, tips from experts, and even some real-life stories that are pretty eye-opening.
Yeah.
So
It's a jungle out there.
it is, and we're going to help you navigate it safely.
Exactly.
So let's start with the basics.
Okay.
What's the biggest misconception people have about online dating safety?
I think a lot of people think, well, I see this all the time. They think that it's just about being careful who you meet up with.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing you got to worry about.
Yeah, just don't meet in a dark alley.
Right.
Don't
Exactly.
meet in a dark alley at midnight.
Yeah. But it goes way deeper than that.
Right.
It starts even before you send that first message.
So what are we talking about here? Like before you even...
Protecting your information
not.
is huge.
Protecting your information.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we do that? Because I feel like we're constantly told to share everything online, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of counterintuitive because, social media is all about sharing.
Yeah.
But in the world of online dating, you actually want to hold back a bit, especially at first.
Okay.
It's like building trust gradually. You don't give away all your secrets on the first date, right?
Right.
So think of it the same way online.
So what are some specific things we should be careful about sharing?
Your full name, for starters.
Really?
Yeah, think about it. Someone has your full name. They can probably find your social media profiles, your work, maybe even your address.
Wow. I never really thought about it like that.
It's scary how easy it is to find information online these days.
So no full names.
Yeah, okay, what else?
Definitely hold off on sharing your social media handles right away.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
Same reason you don't want someone to have your full name. You're just giving them access to more personal information before you really know if you can trust them.
That makes sense. It's like
But-
giving them the keys to your digital house before you even know if they're a friend or a foe.
Exactly. And, speaking of foes,
Let's talk about red flags.
Okay, red flags. Those are always important. So what are some red flags we should be watching out for?
Well, the research points to 3 big ones.
3. All right, lay 'em on me.
Number 1, overly personal questions too soon.
Ooh, that's a good one. Like what?
If someone is asking about your finances, your past relationships, or other really sensitive topics right off the bat,
Yeah.
that's a red flag.
Yeah, like we haven't even had a virtual coffee date yet, and you're asking me about my credit score.
Exactly. It's a sign they might have ulterior motives
Right.
or be trying to manipulate you.
Okay, red flag number 1, overly personal questions too soon.
Got it.
What's next?
Inconsistency.
Inconsistency. Like what? Their story keeps changing.
Yeah, their story keeps changing, details don't add up, or they get defensive when you ask simple questions.
Yeah.
That's a big warning sign.
Okay, so like if their profile says they're a doctor, but then they casually mention waiting tables,
Uh-huh.
maybe I should dig a little deeper.
Yeah, a genuine person is going to be open and honest,
Right,
even if their life isn't perfect.
right. Okay, that makes sense. Inconsistency. Red flag number 2. And the third one,
Pressure.
pressure.
If they're pushing to meet in person before you're ready or bombarding you with intense declarations of love way too early.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic one.
Yeah, it's a big no-no.
Like they're trying to speed run the relationship
Exactly.
before you even have a chance to put your shoes on.
Right, online dating should be about getting to know someone
Right.
at a pace that feels comfortable
Yes.
for both people.
Absolutely. So we've got...
Take your time.
Yes, take your time.
Don't rush it.
Don't rush it. Okay, so we've got red flag number 1, overly personal questions too soon. Number 2, inconsistency. And number 3, pressure.
You got it.
All right, so we're already armed with some great tips for protecting our information and spotting those red flags. But what happens when we're ready to actually meet someone in person?
Oh.
How do we make sure those first dates are both fun and safe?
Well, that's where things get really interesting, and we've got some great advice on that coming up after the break.
Stay tuned. Okay, so we're back and we're talking about how to actually meet up with someone you've met online. So much good information already.
Right.
But now we need to make sure we're staying safe.
Exactly.
Because we can find the red flags, we can protect our information, but then, excitement takes over and you want to meet this person face to face.
Absolutely. And the research has some great tips for making those first dates safe and fun.
Okay, so give me the rundown. What are the top things we need to keep in mind?
Well, first and foremost, always meet in a public place.
Okay, public place. So
Think like
what kind of places are we talking about?
busy cafes,
Okay.
parks with lots of people around,
Okay.
well-lit areas.
So basically, no secluded romantic walks on the beach for a first date.
Yeah, maybe save that for like date number 3 or 4.
Yeah, good advice. Okay, so public place, got it. What else?
This one's super important. Tell someone where you're going, who you're meeting, and when you expect to be back.
Okay.
Even better, share your location with a friend or family member.
So they can track you down if you go missing?
Not necessarily missing, but it's like having a virtual safety net.
Okay, yeah, good point.
Someone knows where you are, who you're with, just in case anything happens.
Right, you've got that backup.
Exactly.
Okay, so public place, tell a friend what's next.
Arrange your own transportation.
Oh, okay.
Don't rely on your date to pick you up or drop you off, especially for that first meeting.
Even if they offer to, like, call me an Uber or something.
Yeah, it's tempting,
Right?
but it's really better to get there on your own.
Okay.
Gives you more control.
Right.
If things aren't going well, you can easily leave without feeling obligated or stuck.
It's all about having an exit strategy.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, so public place, tell a friend, own transportation. Anything else?
Oh, this one might seem obvious, but make sure your phone is fully charged.
Oh, come on, that's like dating 101.
I know, but it's worth repeating. It's your lifeline to the outside world.
Yeah.
If you need to make a call, check directions, or call for help.
Right, your phone is your friend.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got public place, tell a friend, own transport, charged phone. I feel like I could handle a first date now.
Yeah.
What if things take a turn, though?
Okay.
Like someone gets a little too creepy or I just feel unsafe. What does the research say about that?
This is where it gets really serious.
Yeah.
The research is very clear. If you feel unsafe for any reason, you leave.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. Your safety is the absolute priority.
So no need to be polite or try to make up an excuse. Just get out of there.
Exactly. Don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Your intuition is powerful, and it's there to protect you.
Trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
Okay, so I remove myself from this situation, but is there anything else I can do? Like, can I report that person, warn others?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most dating apps have blocking and reporting features.
Right.
Use them.
Okay.
By reporting bad behavior, you're helping to create a safer online dating environment for everyone. It's like a digital neighborhood watch.
Yeah, right. We're all looking out for each other.
Exactly. We're all in this together. And this ties into a larger point. Online dating is still relatively new,
Yeah.
and we, the users, are shaping its future.
Interesting.
By setting boundaries, holding people accountable, we're collectively defining what is acceptable behavior.
So it's like we're all contributing to the evolution of online dating.
Precisely. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this is all great in theory,
Right.
but how do I actually put this into practice?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Well, let's talk about some practical strategies for navigating the online dating world safely.
Let's get tactical. What are some things our listeners can do right now to level up their safety game?
One thing that's often overlooked is the power of a profile review.
A profile review.
Yeah, before you even start swiping, have a trusted friend or family member look over your profile.
Oh, that's a good idea.
They can help you make sure you're not accidentally revealing too much personal information or presenting yourself in a way that might attract the wrong kind of attention.
So it's like having a personal branding consultant for your dating life.
Love that. And speaking of attracting the right kind of attention, let's talk about communication. The way you interact online can make a big difference in your safety.
Okay, so how do we become online dating communication ninjas?
It starts with being mindful of the tone you set.
Tone.
Yeah, keep things light, playful, and positive in the early stages.
Okay.
Avoid getting too deep or personal until you've established a level of trust.
So no long rambling emails about my childhood traumas on the first virtual date?
Exactly. And this might seem obvious,
Okay.
but pay attention to grammar and spelling.
Really?
Yeah, not only does it make you look more polished,
Okay.
but it can also be a red flag if someone's communication is consistently sloppy or full of errors.
So wait, bad grammar can be a red flag.
It can be. Of course, everyone makes mistakes. But if someone's messages are consistently riddled with errors, it could be a sign that they're not who they say they are, or that they're not putting much effort into the interaction.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like they're not even proofreading their attempts to woo me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Be wary of anyone who is overly eager to move the conversation off the dating app or platform.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah. Scammers and catfishers often try to lure people to other communication channels where they have less accountability.
So that's why some profiles say, don't message me here, email me at.
Exactly. Stick to the platform's messaging system until you feel comfortable enough to share other contact information.
Got it. Stay in the safe zone.
Stay in the safe zone.
Okay, what about doing a little online sleuthing? Is it okay to Google our matches?
Absolutely.
Really?
It's amazing what you can find with a simple search. You can often verify their identity, see if they have a professional online presence, and sometimes even get a sense of their interests and hobbies.
So we're gathering intel before we even go on the date.
Exactly. And remember, you're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Ask questions, pay attention to their responses, and trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is.
All right, so it's about being proactive and discerning, not just passively swiping and hoping for the best.
Precisely. Online dating can be a fantastic way to meet people,
Right.
but it's essential to go in with a healthy dose of skepticism and a commitment to your own safety.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from protecting our privacy to mastering communication and even doing a little digital detective work.
Yeah.
But what about the emotional side of online dating? It can be a roller coaster, right?
Oh, absolutely. The excitement, the disappointment, the vulnerability, it's a lot to handle.
So how do we stay emotionally grounded amidst all the chaos?
Well, one key is to manage your expectations.
Okay,
Remember that not every match will turn into a date. Not every date will turn into a relationship.
right.
And that's okay.
Okay, so
It's about enjoying the journey, not just focusing on the destination.
so don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Right. And don't be afraid to take breaks. If you're feeling overwhelmed or burned out, step away from the apps for a while. Your mental health is paramount.
Yeah, self-care is so important.
Absolutely. It's like hitting the pause button on a movie.
Good analogy. And what about rejection? How do we deal with the inevitable ghosting or just not feeling a connection?
Remember that rejection is a part of life, both online and offline?
Ugh, I know, but it still stings.
I get it, but try not to take it personally.
Okay.
It's often more about compatibility and timing than anything else. Sometimes it's just not the right fit.
Easier said than done, but so true.
And that brings us to another important point. Be mindful of the stories you tell yourself.
Stories.
Yeah, we all have those internal narratives that shape our experiences. If you constantly tell yourself that online dating is a nightmare or that you'll never find anyone, you're more likely to create that reality.
Oh, that's deep.
So instead of focusing on the negatives, try to shift your mindset to one of curiosity and possibility. Look at each interaction as a learning experience, an opportunity to connect, even if it doesn't lead to a romantic connection.
I like that. Flipping the script.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm feeling more optimistic already. But what about dealing with the inevitable awkwardness that comes with online dating? Those first messages, those virtual dates, it can be a bit cringy sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where humor comes in.
Humor.
Don't be afraid to be yourself, to be a little quirky, to embrace the awkwardness. A good laugh can go a long way in diffusing tension and creating a sense of connection.
So basically, don't take it all too seriously.
Right. Have fun with it.
Okay, have fun. Got it.
Online dating is a journey. And like any journey, there will be bumps along the way.
Right.
But with the right mindset and a few safety precautions, it can be an exciting and fulfilling experience.
I love that. It's about embracing the adventure with all its twists and turns.
Exactly.
But what about those times when we get stuck in a rut? We're swiping endlessly, but nothing seems to click. How do we break free from the dating doldrums?
That's a great question, and one that many people struggle with. Sometimes a change of scenery is all it takes.
Scenery. You mean like literally going to a different location?
Well, that's one way to do it. But I'm also talking about changing your approach to online dating. Maybe try a different app, tweak your profile, or experiment with different ways of communicating.
So it's like hitting the refresh button.
Exactly. Sometimes a little shakeup is all you need to reignite the spark. And speaking of sparks, let's talk about that magical moment when you do find someone you connect with. How do you nurture that connection and build a strong foundation for a relationship?
Ooh, yes, the butterflies, the late night chats, the excitement of getting to know someone new. How do we keep that flame burning bright once we've found that spark?
Communication is key, just like in any relationship.
Okay.
Be open, honest, and vulnerable with each other. Share your thoughts, your feelings, your dreams. It's about building intimacy, even if you're not physically together yet.
So it's not just about texting back and forth. It's about really opening up and letting the other person see you.
Exactly. And remember to listen actively. Really hear what the other person is saying, both verbally and non-verbally. Sometimes just feeling truly heard can make all the difference.
It's like we talked about earlier with the red flags. Paying attention to the details, both what's said and what's not said.
Precisely. And don't underestimate the power of shared experiences. Even if you can't physically be together, you can still watch movies online, play games together, or even just cook the same meal while video chatting. It's about creating those memories and building a shared history.
Like building a foundation for the relationship brick by digital brick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't forget to celebrate each other's successes and support each other through challenges. A strong relationship, whether it starts online or offline, is built on a foundation of mutual respect, trust, and compassion.
It sounds like building a relationship online is really no different than building one offline. It's all
Well,
about those core values.
you've hit the nail on the head. There may be different tools and platforms involved, but the fundamental elements of a healthy relationship remain the same.
Absolutely. So we've covered a lot of ground today, from protecting our privacy to navigating the emotional ups and downs to even finding and nurturing that special connection. It's been quite a journey.
And before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something to ponder. We've talked about individual safety tips,
Right.
but online dating safety is also a collective responsibility.
You okay?
Every time someone sets a boundary, reports bad behavior, or simply chooses to be kind and respectful, they're contributing to a safer and more positive online dating environment for everyone.
So it's like we're all weaving this tapestry of online dating together, each thread representing our choices and actions.
Exactly. So here's a final thought for you, dear listener. What's one thing you can do to make online dating safer or more enjoyable for yourself and for others? It could be big or small, something you do online, or even just a shift in your attitude.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping this world.
Absolutely. So
Right.
go forth and swipe with confidence, knowing that you have the knowledge and the power to create a positive and fulfilling online dating experience.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. Until next time, happy dating. Ooh, yes, the butterflies, the late night chats, the excitement of getting to know someone new. How do we keep that flame burning bright once we've found that spark?
You know, it's funny because even though we're talking about online dating,
Right.
the principles of building a strong connection are really no different than in any relationship.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Communication is key.
Okay.
Being open and honest with each other.
Yeah.
Sharing your thoughts and feelings and dreams.
Yeah.
It's about building that intimacy,
Right.
even if you're not physically together yet.
So it's not just about texting good morning or sending memes back and forth.
Right, exactly.
It's about really going deeper.
Yeah. It's about really letting the other person see you.
Yeah.
And, on that note, don't forget to listen.
Oh, yeah. Listening is huge.
It is. Really hear what the other person is saying,
Yeah.
both verbally and non-verbally. Sometimes just feeling truly heard can make all the difference in the world.
It's like we talked about earlier with the red flags, paying attention to the details,
Mm-hmm.
both what's said and what's not said.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And, even though you might not be physically together, you can still create shared experiences.
Oh, yeah. How do you do that online?
Well, there's so many ways you can watch movies together online,
Mm.
play games together, even just cook the same meal while you're video chatting.
That's a good idea.
It's about creating those memories
Right.
and building a shared history.
Like you're building that foundation for the relationship.
Right, exactly.
Brick by digital brick.
I like that.
Yeah.
And of course, don't forget to celebrate each other's successes and support each other through challenges.
Yeah.
A strong relationship, whether it starts online or offline, is built on a foundation of mutual respect, trust, and compassion.
Yeah, it sounds like building a relationship online is really no different than building one offline. It's all about those core values.
Exactly. You've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
There may be different tools and platforms involved, but the fundamental elements of a healthy relationship remain the same.
So we've covered a lot of ground today, from protecting our privacy to navigating those emotional ups and downs to even finding and nurturing that special connection. It's been quite a journey.
It has. And before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something to ponder. We've talked about individual safety tips,
Mm-hmm.
but online dating safety is also a collective responsibility.
That's a good point.
Every time someone sets a boundary, reports bad behavior, or simply chooses to be kind and respectful online, they're contributing to a safer and more positive online dating environment for everyone.
It's like we're all weaving this big tapestry of online dating together,
Yes.
each thread representing our choices and actions.
Exactly. So here's a final thought for you, dear listener. What's one thing you can do to make online dating safer or more enjoyable for yourself and for others? It could be big or small, something you do online, or even just a shift in your attitude.
I love that. It's a powerful reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping this world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So go forth and swipe with confidence, knowing that you have the knowledge and the power to create a positive and fulfilling online dating experience for yourself and help others do the same.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into online dating safety.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, stay safe and happy dating.